Hey gang, welcome to Live today. We're going to be talking about this notion of brake versus accelerator. And I've had it explained to me several ways, and it's one thing that I've always struggled with is, you get going and you got your accelerator down and all things looking good, and all of a sudden you start to slow down and you think, well, is it the marketplace or is it me? What is it? And then you realize you got a foot on the brake. So I want to talk to you about seven blocks that I find you can look to and say, is this block taken care of? When people come to me for coaching or for training, a lot of times they want to get into the good stuff right away, like the language and the techniques and, what does the video look like and how does the email sound? And that's all the good stuff. That's all the technical stuff. But the fact is that most of you who come to me or go to any coach for that matter, you want enhancement of the overall, the holistic, the revenue, the income. You want to achieve at a higher level. And it's kind of irrelevant what the technique is. If I can get you to a higher level with or without the technique, that's why I've said for the last few years that I'm not sure traditional sales training is the answer to anything, because I find that it doesn't stick. I don't even know if it even has a chance to stick if we don't deal with these seven things. So I'm going to talk to you about these foundational issues today. I'm going to do it in 7 parts. Today is part 1. So one of the blocks we'll talk about today, I think it's critical that you take this in, do with it what you will, think about it, watch it again, put it on your iPhone and maybe listen to it when you're working out or something. But I think these 7, if you can start to make a little progress here, several things are going to happen. I can almost promise you. You're going to show up differently in the marketplace. Your income is going to go up, maybe not triple overnight, but it's going to go up. I just had a coaching call yesterday with a guy who wants to go from already very high income to a much higher income. I said, this is the secret. Technically, he's fine. He does things right. His presentation is fine. His messaging is good. This is it's not the problem. This is what keeps us stuck. So let's go with number 1 today. And by the way, if you have not registered to getting the 12 Bold Moves book, go to 12boldmovesbook.com/audio. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the URL. I'll put it on the screen here. It's on the screen. And make sure you sign up for the webinar too. Originally, I was going to make it only people who had downloaded the book, but I'm going to open it up to everybody. But I want you to download the book first. You'll get a lot more out of the webinar if you do that. Okay, so let's talk about foundational block number 1. And you can call these blocks success blocks or, laws of success. I don't really much care what you call them. But number 1 is you have to have a customer-centric mission and purpose. A customer-centric mission or purpose. So for example, a non-customer-centric mission would be, our mission is to be the largest and most profitable firm on planet Earth. Okay, that's a good goal. It's a good financial objective, but that's not a customer-centric mission. Not at all. It's not a customer-centric purpose. Why do you exist? From the customer's standpoint, or your prospect or your client, however you refer to them. They should have a place in your mission statement or in your mission. I don't want to get hung up on mission statements because it's a bridge I don't want to cross. But what is your customer-centric mission? So in my business, my mission is to help my clients and my community expand what's possible by better leveraging their talents, wisdom, and skills. It's to help them expand what's possible by helping them leverage their talent, wisdom, and skills. So this is not about me and what I want to earn from it. I have a lot of ways to do that. Sometimes it's leadership coaching, sometimes it's one-to-one coaching, sometimes it's cohorts, sometimes it's corporate work, but the mission stays the same. Now, if I were to introduce a product that had a very different mission, then I might break that off and not put it under the Kasky banner. But that is has been and always probably will be my mission. Now, I haven't always been able to put it to words like that, but that's part of this exercise, is make sure that you understand your customer-centric mission. When your purpose transcends financial results and connects to meaningful transformation, how are you transforming your clients? This is something that we spend a lot of time in our corporate work on. What is the transformation that you aim to deliver to clients? Not the products, not the delivery cycle. We aim to transform your business by shipping you every 2 weeks. That's not transformational. What is your transformational promise? Transformational promise, expanding what's possible by leveraging your skills. That's a transformational promise. It could probably even be better than that. But that's the promise. That's my customer-centric mission. So what's the coaching? The coaching is, what do you do that is either the most meaningful, what problem do you solve that's the most meaningful, what destination do you help people get to that's the most meaningful, what do you do that's the most meaningful for your customers, not for you, for your customers. And if you go down that path, I think you'll find, and you have to play with it a little bit. It's not just going to come to you. Play with it. You can put it into AI if you want, but this is more for you. What is it that juices you about the business? What is it that, when you get a compliment from a customer, what is it they have complimented you on that's caused you to rejoice and to feel joy in that compliment? When someone calls me and says, look, I was the number 5 salesperson this year or last year, and I was the 500th best salesperson the year before. I've gone from 500 to 5, or whatever that number is. That really, I appreciate that. That allows me to rejoice a little bit in the joy that they have, because things are a lot better at number 5 than they are at number 500, as long as you haven't burnt yourself out working too hard, and this person hadn't. But think about what's the customer-centric mission, and make it a part of your work. In fact, you could even make it a part of your presentation. Look, let me tell you why we do what we do. Let me tell you the purpose of our work. And don't be ashamed of it. Be very clear about it. But you can't be clear to somebody else, to a prospect, if you're not clear yourself. So hopefully that helps you today. Tomorrow we'll go into number 2. And by the way, 12 Bold Moves audiobook. We'll put the thing on the screen so you can get access to it. All right.